This is a little snippet on the rhetoric that spews out of the vomit hole of Ted Cruz and John Kasich. First of all, John Kasich, you're done. You already know your political career's over in Ohio. Your expansion of Obamacare through Medicaid is going to ruin that little precious surplus you keep ranting about in the news all the time. Your roads are falling apart. People don't like you. You're forsaking the business of the citizens of Ohio over your political aspirations to reach the Oval Office. And the only way you're ever going to get into the Oval Office, Kasich, is if they do a group photograph of all the people who tried everything to get into the Oval Office and lost. Ted Cruz, every interview you do is about Donald Trump. You don't talk about your plan, your tax plan. Oh, you're going to abolish the IRS. Isn't that nice, Ted? So good for you just to sit there and say, we're going to abolish the IRS. You couldn't pass anything when you were in Congress because people don't like you. And you're not going to get anything done as the president because people still won't like you. Your wife's part of the 1%. She's got her hand in all kinds of cookie jars. You're like a crotch itch that you just can't scratch because you're in public. That's what you were like, Ted Cruz. Now, the fact that you play the game by the rules, it's the rules. I understand it's the rules. But I don't hear you talking about how the voters should have a say. I understand it's the rules, Cruz. But I don't hear you talk about how the rules should be changed to give every voter a voice. And that makes you part of the establishment, part of the problem, not part of the solution. Every time you're on TV or radio, all you do is talk about Donald Trump and how he doesn't have this and he doesn't have that. Well, evidently you don't either, because all you do is talk about what Donald Trump doesn't have. Don't want to point out your own shortcomings. Now, you're a political thief. That's right, political thief. Donald Trump doesn't go out and talk about all of his plans in great detail because he's a businessman and he knows that if you sit down with your competition and tell them everything that you plan on doing, your competition will try to beat you to the patent office or to whoever they want to go do business with or whatever and try to beat you. So he's not doing that, Cruz. You would be stealing every talking point of Donald Trump if he was to start detailing his plans. Hillary did it to Bernie, and you would do it to Donald Trump. When Donald Trump gets the nomination, and he's going to get it, then he'll outline it. They didn't like you in Congress when you were one of them. And they don't like you now. And if you made it to the Oval Office, they wouldn't like you either. Donald Trump's a businessman. We need a businessman. We also need a man who doesn't take money from super PACs, who's not bought and paid for, Cruz. You're bought and paid for. You're damaged goods. We're looking for someone who's not beholden to anyone except common sense and the American people. You're not beholden to either one of them. You and the rest of your establishment cronies can pretend to be at odds with one another, hate one another, whatever you want to do, because you think that's going to help you achieve the ultimate goal, which is getting your sorry ass in the Oval Office. And that ain't going to happen. When Donald Trump gets into office, he's going to assemble advisory boards. See, he has a real good history of being able to do that. Making billions and billions of dollars kind of proves it. You've never created one job. Not one. And you, John Kasich, ass clown, talk about not being part of the establishment. You are an entrenched member of the establishment. You've been around forever. You're like that misspelled tattoo. You just can't get rid of it. And everyone laughs at it every time they see it. That's what you like. Donald Trump. He's not a self-made billionaire or whatever, and you are quick to point out that he started off with a loan from his father. And that might be true. The difference is, Ted Cruz, people have given you all kinds of money too, and you squandered it. I don't see you and your wife, who makes millions of dollars when she's on the payroll at Goldman Sachs. I haven't heard about any crazy businesses or investments knowledgeable that you made a lot of money off of like Donald Trump did. Donald Trump took a small loan and turned it into a vast fortune. You have taken vast amounts of money and turned it into nothing but misfortune. The wall's going to be built. Strong military, where Americans can feel pride again and know that their president has their back when stupid factions and countries with ass backwards leadership do something stupid to the United States. That's what Donald Trump is. So, that's all I got to say about that.